At the 2010 Loveparade in Duisburg, 21 people died. Many more were injured. Over the last few weeks, there has been much speculation about the events of that day. This film shows what happened on the 24th of July. It is based on CCTV recordings, explanatory animations, documents, press reports, and eyewitness accounts. In order to understand what happened on the 24th of July, we first of all need a general overview of the location where the Loveparade was staged in Duisburg. The festival itself takes place in the northern section of the grounds. This is where the floats, the trucks with DJs, drive in circles around the old freight depot. This is also where the big stage for the final event is located. In order to get to the festival area, visitors first have to pass the access control points on either the west or the east side. The influx of visitors is regulated by these access control points. Via Karl-Lehr-Straße, visitors can then get to the main entry and exit ramp that leads onto the premises. A second, smaller ramp serves as a second exit. On the eastern side, Karl-Lehr-Straße passes through a tunnel. On the western side, it passes under 3 bridges. This area was filmed by CCTV cameras. The inserted symbols show the position of the cameras and the viewpoint they were filming. It is at around 1640 that the tragedy occurs in the lower section of the large entrance. What happened? During the first 3.5 hours, the entry and exit system functioned without any major incidents. This is evidenced by CCTV footage. After an emergency ambulance passes along Karl-Lehr-Straße from west to east at 1550, police officers start forming a cordon in the western area in front of the small exit ramp. This police cordon is now blocking the flow of visitors entering and leaving. Only a few visitors can leave the area. 7 minutes later, the police form a second cordon on the east side of the tunnel. Now, both access routes in the tunnel and bridge areas have been blocked by the police. At around 1600 hours, one can clearly see that only a small number of visitors are coming from the western area and moving towards the first police cordon. 2 minutes later, the situation in that area changes dramatically. From the direction of the western entry access point, a sudden surge of visitors starts to build up in front of the first police cordon. According to witness statements, the police have given the order for the access control points in the west to be opened. At 1602, the first police cordon in the west moves to the area behind the smaller exit ramp. Then, another event occurs that no one has been able to explain so far. The police form a third police cordon on the lower third of the main entry and exit ramp at its narrowest point. In an account of events recorded after the incident by the fire brigade command, the decision by the police to block the main entry and exit ramp using a police cordon is deemed, now quoting the English translation of the German text, very problematic with regard to operational tactics. The account further states, for this reason, the fire brigade is against it. At 1612, the police closed the third cordon on the main entry and exit ramp completely. The number of people wanting to leave the premises grows bigger and bigger, but they cannot move forward. A dense crowd builds up, creating a bottleneck. By this time, the police cordons in the western part of the bridge area and in the eastern part of the tunnel area have already been blocking the flow of visitors entering and exiting for 15 minutes. The area between the 3 police cordons is now almost completely empty. At the same time, the pressure on the other side of the 3 police cordons is increasing due to new flows of visitors. At around 1613, the police cordon in the eastern part of the tunnel area dissolves. A scuffle between police officers and visitors breaks out. The crowds that have been until then held back are now able to flock freely from the east towards the main entry and exit ramp and approach the 2 other police cordons from behind. At around 1620, the western police cordon is dissolved in a controlled manner. As a consequence, the crowds that have been until then held back now flock towards the lower part of the main entry and exit ramp from both directions of the tunnel. They hit the crowd that is still held by the third police cordon head-on. Two dense crowds are now facing each other, still separated by the third police cordon. In the following 20 minutes, the situation becomes more and more dramatic as visitors from the east and west side continue to flow in unchecked. The pressure on the crowd on the lower part of the big ramp continues to build up. In that area, the situation is now desperate. People are trapped. More and more people are trying to flee via a barricaded flight of stairs and several light towers. The situation continues to worsen. An increasing number of people are now trying to escape via these routes. As of around 1640, the pressure on the crowd on the ramp is so extreme that the first fatalities occur.